From UFOs to psychic powers and government conspiracies, history is riddled with unexplained events. You can turn back now or learn the stuff they don't want you to know. A production of iHeartRadio.
Hello, welcome back to the show. My name is Matt.
My name's Noel.
They call me Ben. We're joined, as always, with our super producer, Dylan, the Tennessee pal, Fagan. Most importantly, you are you. You are here. That makes this the stuff they don't want you to know. If you're listening to Strange News, the evening it publishes, folks, welcome to Monday, October 27th. It is Halloween week. It is the most wonderful time of the year, and also we are recording live together in person.
Can we get a boo? Let's do a boo. Boo.
Boo?
Yeah.
Boo!
There you go. Spooky times. We love it. It's our favorite time of the year. I think it's a lot of y'all's as well.
Yeah, the Monster Mash. Sorry, I'm kind of sleep deprived.
Wait. So the Monster Bash, let's just really quickly get that away, is a song about a... so it's a song about
a dance.
A dance.
Yes,
Mhm.
yeah.
It's
yeah.
very meta.
It's like
Yes.
the hokey pokey almost, but more thematic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, boo. We.
This is not only our first time recording together post adventures on the high seas, but this is also our first time really getting to catch up before we get into strange news. Now,
Ooh, should we do that?
you want to catch up, you guys?
Oh, please.
When's the last time we caught up?
Well, we spent some time together, some quality time, if I do say so myself,
Yeah.
on a boat.
Uh-huh.
Remember that moment on the other boat when we played the song, We're on a Boat?
We did.
Yes.
That was a real meta moment there as well, and it was delightful.
Yeah.
So fantastic. Thank you, Charlie.
Mhm. Thank you, Captain Charlie. We're also thank you to Tennessee for coming along with us and putting up with our salute to you, sir. Putting up with our shenanigans.
Thanks to all our fellow sailors and all the folks that are called sailors. We're sailors now, y'all.
Yeah.
Who came to our live show about the Bermuda Triangle, which I
Yeah.
believe we're going to be beaming out into podcast land before long, right?
Yes.
Absolutely true.
We met several folks who actually listen and hang out with us in this world, but we hung out with them for reals,
We did.
and it was awesome.
It was wonderful.
Mhm. Yeah, we started keeping list of people to thank.
Oh,
Do you
Lord.
want to do it at the end of the show, or do you want to do it now?
Let's do it at the end. You got to
Let's
listen
do it.
all the way through to find out
Yeah.
if we're going to
At the
mention
very
you.
end, yeah.
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 That's
You gotta-
right, Dominique.
That's right.
Just a taste. There's other names to come.
That's
Other
right.
names to come.
Mary, Captain Devon, who was the guy who took us on the boat from the boat.
Oh, yeah.
And then we also met the actual fax captain of the Valiant Lady.
Shout out Damir.
There you go.
Shout out
Oh.
Deputy Captain Moran.
Shout out.
Ex-
Hugo?
Accept my friend request, you guys. So let's get to it, right? Because we're so used to doing strange news every week. We didn't want to leave you without a dope beat to step to, but we had a run of classics, right? As we were traversing in our maritime adventures, and a lot of stuff happened before we came back to check in with our fellow conspiracy realists about all the news, strange and otherwise. Maybe we dip our toes in with this one, guys. You know that butt breathing might soon be a medical treatment.
Finally.
No, this is a big one for you, Noel.
It's a huge one for me, man. What did you say a minute ago? And I said, it's clearly will always top off the list of important news stories. Anything to do with butt breathing.
May I be the first to say, what the hell are you talking about, sir?
with your butt, dude. Context clues.
Yeah, it's like our old Bud Light ad. The beer's so good you could drink it with your mouth.
They loved that. We gave it to them for
Yeah.
free. Haven't heard them tried it out quite yet, but there's still time.
It's probably a different market from us.
Is it like the South Park eating with your butt thing? Or
The butt breathing is similar.
Is it like butt chugging?
Is it like boofing,
There you
right?
go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Similar to, shout out SCOTUS. So it turns out that last year, a group of researchers won the 2024 Ig Nobel Prize in Physiology for discovering that, yes, many mammals are capable of breathing through their anus.
Give us a list.
Yeah, okay.
Is it us? Can we do it?
So
TBD.
TBD. We wanted to shout this out. The Ig Nobel Prize, as we all know, is kind of like the raspberries for science, or the Razzies?
The Razzies.
The Razzies.
Honestly, unfair. A lot
Mean-spirited
of times. Mean-spirited.
sometimes.
I think this is important science that we're talking about here today, and not worthy of any kind of ignominy.
Yeah,
There you go.
ignominy.
Okay, thank you.
I think we both got close to it. I can't remember. That's a word that's tough to pronounce, similar to that word for magic, prestidigitation. Prestidigitation.
I've been practicing.
Well done. Yeah. So this team, just to keep it short, this team went on after their Ig Nobel Prize. They conducted a new study and said, hey, maybe we can adapt this butt breathing method to treat people with blocked airways or clogged lungs. So shame on all of us who had some pretty awesome jokes about butt breathing.
How cool would it be to not have to have the pen shoved through your larynx?
Right,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? You know the move. You see it in those medical drama shows all the time.
Yeah, the improvised tracheotomy.
There you go.
In this case, we're talking about intraanally administered oxygen gas or liquid.
Mhm.
What's that as an acronym, Matt? Just out of
Yeah,
curiosity.
yeah,
Is it a
yeah.
fun one or is it an unpronounceable one?
It is. You got it. You got it.
Unpronounceable. Got it. Let's move on.
Okay, I thought you were going for a Kennedy accent there, real quick.
Breathe through my butt.
So if you want to learn more about this, go to Ars Technica. Excellent article by a journalist we've mentioned in the past, Jennifer Ouellette. Butt breathing may soon be a real medical treatment. We're going to pause for a word from our sponsors, and then we'll get into even stranger news. And don't worry, we'll tell you about it with our mouths.
And we return. And Ben, you totally nailed it. The Monster Mash is in fact a dance. One cannot do a song. But I have heard people getting perplexed about this concept of the Monster Mash is about a song, but it is not itself the song. But it is neither of those things. It is in fact a dance because one cannot do a song.
Oh,
And
like
it never
the,
mentions Halloween.
Also,
it never mentions Halloween.
Mhm.
It's just the monsters.
It's just the monsters and they're mashing.
Can
Not
I-
monsters smashing.
No, that's very
Okay.
different.
I think we've mentioned this before on the show, but if you're not aware of it, and you're not a child, go ahead and search for Comedy Bang Bang Monster Mash
Mhm.
and find all of the versions of the Monster Mash that they have created for that show on their very special Halloween episodes.
I don't think I've heard of one, so I'm looking forward to that. And also, shout out to Werewolf Bar Mitzvah. Spooky, scary. Boys
Yeah.
becoming men and men becoming wolves.
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Tracy Jordan from 30 Rock.
Yes.
Very
One of the
good.
best Monster Mash parodies of all time.
On one of the best sitcoms of all time.
Yeah,
we
I
could
think the
also
joke
say.
per minute ratio
It's
is
so
like higher
dense.
than anything else.
It's
Yep.
so
Mhm.
dense.
Thank you, Tina Fey.
Thank you, Tina Fey. And Lorne Michaels.
Yeah, sure. And Alec, Mr. Baldwin.
Yo, I just finished Detroiters.
Amazing.
What a delight.
I was telling you guys for like
Unbelievable.
years.
Dylan is
Unbelievable.
literally delighted.
It
that you
is
said
Yes.
so, it's such a good hang.
Mhm.
Obviously, huge Tim Robinson fan.
Yeah.
I think you should leave, Stan. That one kind of got buried for a minute. And now Netflix has been pushing it out, and I binged it in like 2 days.
It's
and
so
you
great.
nailed
They're
it.
best
It's
friends.
delightful. Yes, the rapport is clear.
I'm only 6 episodes in.
Oh, man. Guess what? You're in for a great ride.
I bring that up because executive produced by Lorne Michaels.
That's
Dude
right.
knows how to pick them, and he seems to give chances even to folks who are a little bit off the beaten track. You know what I mean?
Or got
Like,
kicked off SNL after like one season.
yeah, like I mean,
No.
he's the reason the Kids in the Hall made it to the States.
Sure.
He's the producer of Brain Candy,
Mhm.
so dude knows how to appeal to the masses and also to the the weirdos.
Yeah. And speaking of, let's see if this segue works, Noel.
I know it will.
Okay, so we'll see. So we all know that Tim Robinson has his newest project out with his co-creator Zach Kanan.
Yep. I
the
watched episode 1.
The Chair Company,
Mhm.
which is what'd you think? Noel?
I'm intrigued. It is very much red meat for the type of consumers of media that we are.
Yeah.
And it's exactly the kind of thing that he should be doing, sort of like a super, super, super dark satirical look at like the corporate world and like all of the intrigue and sort of there seems to be an Illuminati-esque conspiracy at the heart of the whole thing.
Right.
But I've only seen the one. And so
Ooh.
I'm super into it. You're going to love
Chair
it.
conspiracy?
A chair conspiracy.
Mhm.
That's what the whole thing's about. There are only 2 episodes out as we're recording today on October 22nd. But Noel, you nailed it. We're super into it. Chairs have been on our minds. And there's a story you found that, Matt, I don't know if you are aware of this. I know nothing about. So I love a good heist.
We love a heist.
We all love a good heist. And apparently there's a heist involving Chairs?
This seems a little less like a heist in that it was done in one fell swoop and more like a death by 1,000 chairs situation.
Oh, yeah,
You
classic.
know, just kind of picking them out here and there from cafes that aren't locking them down. You got to lock down your chairs, cafes. You got to lock down your chairs. There is apparently something of a chair thieving syndicate over in Spain that got busted by Spanish police, suspected, let's say, innocent until proven guilty, of stealing over 1,100 chairs from various bistros and cafes. You know the culture over there. Lots of lovely little,
patio cafe,
exactly.
Street side things.
Street side,
and they all get locked up.
They usually get locked up with chains. We're talking plastic chairs. We're talking metal chairs. The occasional wood chair. Yeah. You could saw through the wood, but then you wouldn't have yourself a functioning chair, would you?
Would you?
No. Oh dear, dear sweet me. Spain's national police said earlier this week that they had arrested 7 people suspected of stealing more than 1,100 chairs from various outdoor seating areas at restaurants and bars across Madrid and in the nearby tri-state area kind of situation.
Tonight, my friend, we sit like kings.
I guess so.
Is this related to the anti-tourism movement that's
You
happening?
know what? That's funny because where are the tourists going to sit? If there's no chairs, maybe they'll just go home. You know?
Well, if they're American, they're going to want to sit.
One thing tourists don't like to do is stand.
Well, but I'm being serious. I recall from my brief time in several parts of Spain that those cafes and the outdoor seating areas were one of the highlights of just being in the area, being able to enjoy where you are and having delicious food.
In Europe as well, having a nice espresso, having a little prosecco, other drinks that end with an O.
And real tapas, which means they come free with the wine.
They do. Nice olives, warm olives.
My Larry David's coming out. They're supposed to be free.
Well, you know what's funny about olives? Also, speaking of Larry David, what do you do at the pit? You know, what do you have, a garbage plate? You know, it's disgusting. Get it out of here. No olives.
So, wait. Could I ask quick question?
If you must, and I wish you would.
Okay, great. Then into the breach once again, dear friends. What do you do with 1,100 chairs?
Well, you flip them, buddy. You find yourself a chair fence.
You start a chair
fence.
You fence a chair.
Yeah. You start a chair company.
Full circle. No, I mean, they were apparently selling them around Spain and also in Morocco and Romania. So if you're looking for a good deal on a hot chair, that's apparently the spot for it.
I'm just thinking of the transit costs.
I'm just thinking of the logistics of it. It seems like maybe it's one of those things where it's either idiotic or is it genius? Where it's like, nobody has thought of this. But to your point, to both of y'all's points, they are typically after hours locked the F down, like with heavy chains and stuff. So they really have to find these crimes of opportunity, casing the joints for folks that aren't locking their chairs down.
And then what do you say on your first date? Oh, my job? I sell loose chairs in Romania.
Yeah, well, you probably have to have a cover story, I would imagine.
I imagine, I drive to Romania often.
Exactly.
I'm in sittable import-export.
100%. And let's see, the estimated value of said stolen chairs was around 60,000 euros or 69,000 US dollars.
Nice.
That's according to police. Let's see. There's a piece on ABC News that is actually mainly a reprint of the Associated Press article about it. And they say that it was a group of 6 men and women who were tonight, I'm just quoting from the piece here, to pilfer the chairs from 18 different establishments in Madrid and Talavera de la Reina, which is a smaller city to the southwest of the capital city. And this was between August and September of this year. They face charges of theft and belonging to a criminal organization. They are now being classified as something of a group of organized criminals, something of a syndicate.
They're chairman of organized crime.
One would hope there would be a chairman of the board.
Chairman of
the board used hewn down to make delightful dovetail joints on bespoke chairs. How do you feel about an Adirondack? Not a fan.
I'm
not comfortable.
I'm okay with the vibe. I'm not okay with the commitment of being there for a long time.
I like the really large ones you'll see in the North Georgia mountains, just sort of as a roadside
tourist
attraction.
areas.
Can somebody explain to me what an Adirondack is?
It's a wooden chair that is perma-reclined at an angle that I don't really
the
quite
ass
see
of it
the
is
points.
super deep.
Yeah. So you can't adjust it?
No,
like
there's no adjusting.
Not the big ones.
No,
you
sir.
can some of the smaller ones.
Maybe that's true.
Yeah.
In general, though, they sort of have a set form, right?
They do. They do. And it's kind of like a papasan. Like at first you're thinking, this is an interesting experience for my butt and my posture. And then time goes on and you're like, I kind of want a regular chair.
Well, these folks in Spain will help you out with that.
There you
They
go.
will. We just have to go to Romania.
I'm sorry to be that guy. What the hell is a papasan?
Papasan's like a beanbag, right? Kind of.
It's the circular.
It's a cupped, padded thing that is seated in sort of like a futon that's seated in a metal frame, and it cups your whole
metal.
body.
It's metal or bamboo.
We usually have metal legs and then a bamboo basket, and then the thing sort of creates a form-fitting factor.
Okay, thank you guys.
No, to Ben's point, they're not great, not super comfortable.
But they look cool.
They look cool.
Okay.
And now they're kind of coming back because they're a bit like retro. They're like giving retro vibes.
Yeah. It's like it would belong in a bedroom that had a waterbed.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Say more.
Do you think waterbeds are coming back?
I hope so.
Did they leave?
I think they maybe just got a little more niche. You know, have you seen Licorice Pizza, the Paul Thomas Anderson movie? There's a great waterbed subplot in it. Like this entrepreneurial kid kind of finds out about waterbeds and decides he's gonna.
It's a whole subplot.
It's a whole subplot. Yeah.
Here's my prediction about the chair heist thing. It feels like, based on the stuff you found here, Noel, it feels like it might have been an inside job for at least a couple of those restaurants.
I'm looking for the pun, but I'm not finding it. It's not there. That's why I think you're right. Because to your point, and to the thing we've been saying, I've never seen chairs just stacked willy-nilly
loose chairs
out on the curbside. It doesn't seem like a very good business move because people are going to take your stuff if you don't bolt it down. Not to have like lost faith in humanity or anything, but it's just kind of how it is.
I gotta say, guys, I'm really going through it, and I feel like I might get some papasons or maybe even some Adirondacks if maybe I won the lottery or something.
Oh dear.
Oh yeah.
Well, just ask ChatGPT. Apparently, it can predict lotto numbers.
What?
Or not.
I mean, everybody can predict lotto numbers, but can they predict them accurately?
That is indeed the question. I'm just going to pull from this Daily Mail thing. Powerball winner reveals how she used ChatGPT to generate winning numbers. A woman in Michigan decided to ask the what do you call it? Large language model system, which is quite popular and a little bit divisive. For a little help when it came to picking her lottery numbers. Her name's Tammy Carvey, 45, of Wenandotte, which is near Detroit. Speaking of
the Detroiters.
On September 6th, the Powerball numbers were drawn, and the numbers that she asked ChatGPT to generate, they hit. She says, I asked ChatGPT for a set of Powerball numbers, and those are the numbers I played, she said in a statement from the Michigan Lottery. She said typically she only plays when the jackpot goes into the stratosphere, and with the Powerball starting to really, really swell, you know, these things are cumulative, I believe to around $1.7 billion, the second largest in U.S. history. She decided to give it a go. And she did hit. She did not hit the 1.787 billion, but she won a lot more than she thought. She apparently, when she did win, she Googled. It's not apparently not immediately clear what the amount you get is, depending on how many numbers, whether a Powerball is included.
And how many other people won.
Exactly right. So it told her that she likely won about $50K, but that was then very quickly revealed to be only half of the story. And she actually won $100,000 because she added a power play multiplier.
Okay.
And here's the interesting part. The Michigan Lottery did have a statement saying the results of all lottery drawings are random and cannot be predicted by utilizing artificial intelligence or other number generating tools.
Also, none of the hardcore lottery players are going to believe that for a second, because people get these superstitions when it comes to gambling. You know?
Yeah, and that could well become a superstition where it's like run it through old chatty, as you used to call them. Carvey's story is the latest, Daily Mail says, and a growing trend of lottery hopefuls turning to the technology for numerical inspiration. And I think this is interesting. I don't put much credence in it having any kind of predictive ability for this kind of thing. It's just generating stuff. Not really sure what the prompt was. You know, if she just asked it cold to give me the numbers, or if she put in some kind of other little tidbits of information about herself personally, like the kinds of numbers she usually plays, or who knows. But the point is, you're starting to see people use ChatGPT for all kinds of weird and ridiculous and sort of like, you know, frivolous kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Like make me the most amazing brownie recipe. And I cringe at that a little bit, considering how resource intensive it is and how each one of these engagements uses a whole lot of power, a whole lot of water, and not to be tree huggy about it, but the more people just start running random things through it, the more that AI bubble is getting to bursting. I don't mean economically. I just mean like what it's doing to the environment,
the use case, the diminishing
need for
returns.
Infrastructure, and the land needs, and all of that stuff.
I love the lack of context too with this. I don't want to harp on it too much because I think there's a future episode for us. But the lack of context always cracks me up with like your example of a ChatGPT, give me a brownie recipe. It is totally plausible that a large language model could respond by saying, a brownie is a character from European folklore. The best way to create one is to walk widdershins under a moonless night, collecting wolf's bane and what are some other ingredients?
Eye of newt.
Eye of newt,
Sure,
perfect, classic. That's the baking soda of spells.
Hemlock
seed. There we go.
Yes.
Apples.
And apples.
Just add a little tartness to it.
Yeah, get way more specific with the apple.
Fuji apples.
The Fuji
I'm a
apples.
Granny Smith man.
No,
I do love a Fuji. It's
Yeah,
true.
Granny Smith is just for straight up gnomes. Anyway, no, sleep deprivation again, but I think this is a really interesting example here, Noel, because we're seeing more and more stories like this. I think it's an episode in the future, especially with people who are using large language models to build what they consider communication with God.
Yes, exactly. And then the idea of, is there a future of tech worship and, ChatGPT as a form of religion or God, or these types of large language models, as they get more and more precise and specific, are we going to start seeing, people treating them like deities? I think we're already seeing it a little bit.
We're using technology to create the folklore, mythology, and monsters of old.
Absolutely. And just to add before we go to the next segment, last month, another Powerball player from Virginia also credited ChatGPT after she matched 5 numbers for a $50,000 win, which also for her ballooned to $150,000 after she added that power play multiplier. She decided to give the entirety of her winnings in 3 even donations of $50K to the Association for Frontotemporal Degeneration, Shalom Farms, and the Navy Marine Corps Relief Society. So you do love to see that.
Dang.
Class act.
Dang.
Class act. I don't know if, not to cast aspersion on the 4 of us, but Dylan, is that something you would have done? Would you have donated all of your lottery winnings?
Not all of it.
There you go. There you go.
Some of it.
Okay, some of it we could say now. And with that, we are going to pause for a word from our sponsors. But when we return, we've got even more strange AI or LLM news on the way.
And we're back. Go ahead and, I was going to say turn off your phone, but you can't do that and also hear this. So
turn off your phone and freestyle what you think we would have said and then email it to us.
You'll probably be pretty close.
You'll be pretty close.
At least disable Bluetooth. No, wait, that's probably how you're listening to the headphones. Dang it. You know what? We just got to say it out loud because
just do it live.
These folks decided to at least write it down and say it out loud and risk retribution from, what did we refer to them before? The eventual AI overlords?
The gods.
The gods.
The new gods.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, there are some people that are risking that whole perpetual prison / eternal punishment thing.
The basilisk. Rocco's basilisk. Yes.
There's some very smart, very influential people that have decided to risk it. And this is coming to us from Time Magazine. Written
no, I'm just kidding.
Written by Billy Perigo and Thalin Pillay, I believe is how you would say those. Here's the title. Time is running out. New open letter calls for ban on super intelligent AI development. Now, it's important that we say super intelligent AI development.
Right.
Because this isn't saying ban on AI development. This is specifically going to be talking about the thing, I imagine. We haven't read what the statement is yet. I imagine it would be the thing that we've talked about as AGI, the thing that is far more intelligent than any one human being.
Artificially generative intelligence, meaning that it's not going to just scrape the internet and curate knowledge. It will synthesize, create its own thoughts. It will create its own code. It can perhaps create its own version of offspring.
Yes.
And have conversations that humans will quickly become irrelevant within.
And at least unable to fully control, right? I think that's a really important thing. So first, let's jump to a list of the human beings that signed this thing.
Yeah.
We've got Steve
Wozniak.
Wozniak.
Some luminaries here.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Wozniak, one of the co-founders of Apple.
Yeah, Steve from earlier.
Steve Bannon, that we're aware of from politics and the campaigns of Donald Trump, at least the early campaign of Donald Trump.
You'd be very diplomatic, both of you. All right.
You've heard his name before. He's kind of an important person in the world for reasons.
Double Steves.
We've got Paolo Benanti, who is an advisor, a direct advisor to the Pope. We've got Harry and Meghan. You know them, guys, the Duke and Duchess.
So cute.
We've got a bunch of other human beings. We've got several presidents, including Barack Obama and George W. Bush, the younger one. We've got people like Stephen Fry, Will.i.am.
Your man, Glenn Beck.
Glenn Beck signed this thing. Joseph Gordon-Levitt signed this thing. Susan Rice, the national security advisor under the Obama administration. There is a huge list. You can read that list.
Oh, can I mention one other person?
Oh, yes, please.
Yuval Noah Harari, who I think
Harari
is one of the most qualified people to weigh in on this kind of stuff.
Well, besides Will.i.am, but I hear you.
besides for
where's Fergie
Mr.
in all of this? That was my question.
Grimes signed it, you guys.
Oh wow, now that's interesting,
isn't it?
Because she's always been so pro AI and pro this kind of stuff.
Isn't it interesting?
And if you want to join these luminaries, also, it is an open letter, and we know what that means, folks.
That's right. It's an open letter. So if you want to read the letter, we'll read it to you right now, but you can head over to superintelligence-statement.org. And here is the statement. It's very concise. Ready?
Yeah.
We call for a prohibition on the development of superintelligence, not lifted before there is 1, broad scientific consensus that it will be done safely and controllably, and 2, there's a strong public buy-in. That means that there are enough human beings on the planet that agree, hey, it's okay that you do that thing that could affect all of us.
Right.
And right now it's around, at least according to some of the stuff that was cited within the writing here from Time Magazine, it's around 5% of people that say, yeah, superintelligence, let's do it.
Yeah, and that 5% is not evenly distributed across the global population. Not to profile.
And also not to, I mean, there's people that it's just, this is not in their orbit.
No,
in
why would they?
Right.
Let's say you're living in a place that has already suffered from resource extraction. The closest computer is like several miles away in another village. And your thing is, I'm worried about how the crops are getting poisoned. And I'm pretty sure that these people who claim they're the military protecting the cobalt mine or whatever, I'm pretty sure they're just corporate goons.
Well, don't worry. It'll be close to you soon enough when they dig up your rutabaga fields and plant data centers.
Yeah. Shout out to one of the weirdest sleeper hits by C.W. McCall, the guy who made Convoy.
Oh, yes, of course. Yes.
He's also,
and just to be clear, we do not support that type of digging up of the rutabagas.
Absolutely not.
Consensual digging up.
Harvesting.
Harvesting of rutabagas. That's what we're about on this show.
For foodstuffs or perhaps decorative, purposes.
Speak for yourselves. Anyway,
can you carve a rutabaga for Halloween? Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, let me show you a picture.
Turnips was the thing.
Yeah,
now
turnips was the
rutabagas.
original thing. We're also going to get walloped with emails from our fellow conspiracy realist sci-fi nerds if we don't mention the Butlerian Jihad from Dune. This is in Frank Herbert's Dune. There is a concerted effort to eliminate what they call thinking machines. They're AI because they came close to collapsing galactic civilization. So this is like a microcosmic version of what was predicted in so much sci-fi, that the humans and the meat mechs would have to band together before it was too late.
There's a pretty good track record of sci-fi writers predicting the future.
Yeah.
Sort of their thing.
I mean, we also, I don't know about you guys, but I also cherry pick the heck out of that.
No,
There's
that's
a
all
lot
true,
of sci-fi
Ben. That is
that's
very,
not
very true.
correct.
That is
Yeah.
very true. That is very true.
The guy who made Lasercats 5, James Cameron, I don't know if you heard of this guy. He's also made things like, Terminator.
Sure.
I feel like he's got his
Or
finger
William
on the
S.
pulse
Gibson.
here.
I mean, predicting
Neuromancer.
the idea of the internet as a sentient being. Right?
Yeah, and Philip K. Dick, who succeeded despite his last name.
And despite his copious LSD consumption.
I think that might have been a because of.
Yeah, I think it was an opening up of the mind so he could communicate with the...
That's a yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's a yes, yeah,
For
definitely
me,
a diminishing return. Well, Matt, we know that the thing about petitions and open letters of this ilk is that, yes, anybody can sign it, but it does not in any way necessarily create legislation or binding, what the UN would call like binding resolutions.
And I hate to be a bummer, but when has a call for anything, I did quote fingers there, done much beyond... It's like a moveon.org petition.
It's
something.
kind of like a watch me do this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, kind of. I identify with what you guys are saying, and I agree to some extent.
But there's some real weight behind the names
absolutely.
here.
And it's important to come out, to your point, Matt, and defy the overlords in advance and, be the change, right?
Well, yeah. And it is genuinely kind of a scary thing. Currently, there are 1,451 signatures on this statement. I believe you can probably sign it if you want to.
Yes.
It's got a list of all the people. If you're a faith leader or a policymaker, or if you're in the arts and media, you go sign it and you get on the list. And I think it's really important that it is just a call to look at this stuff before somebody in a lab does it alone and has that eureka moment. Let's decide that that's the eureka moment we want, and let's decide what kind of lab we want to create it in. And if we want to create it together, giant oligarchs and corporations, then let's do that. But let's not do it in secret.
Before we go into the ocean, let's make sure the boat can float.
That would be cool.
Well, and I guess because it's so techy and so, exponentially increasing in its, capacity and capabilities, it's not treated the same as, say, like a weapon of mass destruction would be treated. It doesn't have the same level of regulation because it's got this innocuous sort of surface to it. We're experiencing it largely as consumers with cute internet videos of Mr. Rogers, skating on the half pipe or whatever. So there's this sort of soft sell to the public as an entertainment item where a lot of people are like, how could that be bad? That just seems like fun, you know?
Or as a perceived companion or as a perceived helper who's going to get that recipe for you or take all of the information about a specific topic and
collate it,
get it down for you.
Ghost of a loved one who has passed, scraped from the data that they left in their life.
Black Mirror.
I don't know.
But people are about to, as we record this on October 22nd, in fact, they're doing it right now. They're about to experience ChatGPT as a browser. A full-on browser experience because ChatGPT just launched via a Twitter post, an X post, this thing called Atlas, which is their browser, which will be ChatGPT powered. It just says, meet our new browser, ChatGPT Atlas.
Shrug.
And you can download.
I
see it. I hear it.
Sorry.
I see it. And the concept here is that there's a sidebar that you can just ask it at any time to do things that you would ask of ChatGPT, and it's all going to be one experience. Oh, Dylan, don't let the video cameras on those monitors see you do that. He just rolled his eyes.
Oh, fine. I'll roll the eyes as well. I'll roll all my limbs.
But that's
the thing. So look, we know there's a problem here with any kind of top-down technology mandate, which is that a lot of people have AI rolled out because it sounds good in boardrooms, but it also doesn't necessarily help the user experience. Like, name any big company that has a forward-facing thing. They're trying to push an AI functionality on you, like Amazon or Meta has their helpful AI search. And I remember getting really irritated, and I'm miming hitting my phone.
And double thumbs.
I was double thumbing it, and I was like, opt out, how to opt out.
Well, that's funny you say that, Ben, because a big part of the whole perceived AI bubble is the fact that this stuff isn't necessarily particularly productivity increasing.
Well, this is a conversation that is continuing, right? There's so much more to explore. We know that there are more things on the way. I suggest an episode in the future. And also, Matt, you said something that stood out to me a little bit. Atlas.
Well, yeah, the big thing I'm looking out for right now with this is to see whether or not ChatGPT's Atlas has a rise the way Google Chrome did, because you guys remember we saw when Google Chrome launched and how it's really taking over a lot of the web browsing that people do on a daily basis.
I think we all remember being a part of like Gmail's beta, back in the earliest days, and then it was just ubiquitous.
Oh, we're too old for this.
Yeah, we're just old.
No, we're still cool and relevant, like Papa Sans and waterbed.
That's right.
That joke makes sense at the beginning.
Chairs.
Okay, so. But really, it does feel to me like, at least for a time, ChatGPT's Atlas is going to take off in a real way, and I'm really interested to see how that changes, even like how Google sends back results.
Absolutely.
Well, and I think we've all struggled with some of these Google instant results being a little hallucinatory and a little bit inaccurate. I'm wondering if they're making any assurances or promises that it's going to be better versions of that, and then it will become the proprietary thing that could even potentially eat Google's lunch.
You see this in every kind of business, right? There's a field of competitors that springs up seemingly overnight, just like the old legend of soldiers when you sow the ground with dragon's teeth.
Yeah, I know that one.
I'm sorry.
Okay, it's somebody gets it. Somebody out there gets it. Please write in, email us, conspiracy@iHeartRadio.com, and validate your guy. So,
what other people may have clocked is that ChatGPT called their browser Atlas. Right. And I don't know if you guys are like as creeped out and excited, and I don't know to say what other word to use other than just I'm obsessed with 3i Atlas right now.
Right.
And they called it ChatGPT Atlas. And right now there is an interstellar thing, whatever it is, probably an asteroid, maybe a comet.
Shout out Avi.
Let's just go to Avi. 3i Atlas did something really cool and unexpected for a comet. We talked about this before a little bit. When a comet is entering into where the sun is, often you get that thing called a tail, right?
It leaves a trail.
It's off-gassing when the comet itself heats up. If there's any ice, if there's anything in there that can melt, it shoots a tail off basically in the opposite direction of the sun. That makes sense, right? There's solar radiation and heat hitting this comet. That's why it's outgassing like that. 3i Atlas did the opposite. It sent a tail towards the sun. Why does it do that? How did it do that? Seriously, like physically, how could it do that?
Unclear.
So guys, it is the craziest thing that this interstellar object had simultaneously a tail and an anti-tail, so pointing away from the sun, pointing towards the sun, then for a while just was pointing towards the sun, and now has turned into just a tail. And it is headed towards Jupiter right now as we're recording this. Avi Loeb, he's our guy. He just posted on Medium 4 hours ago, quote, "The anti-tail of 3i Atlas turned to a tail." The reason why this is so interesting is because if it were some kind of craft rather than just a comet, and it was going to slow down a little bit and slow its approach, it would eject stuff. If it was using, the types of momentum changing physics that we understand here on Earth, it would eject stuff towards the sun because the sun is pulling it in, right, with its gravity. So that would either slow it down or change its trajectory. And then if it were making, what do they call it? There's a specific term for it, but when you've changed your trajectory a little bit, then you also have to push in the opposite direction to stabilize that change that you just made back into a specific trajectory or orbit. So there's still a chance, guys. I think it's still a 4 out of 10 on the scale that Avi Loeb put out, that it could be a craft of some intelligent origin.
I've been, let's go with anomalous origin. I've been super invested in this as well, Matt, so much so that I almost don't want to say anything until we do an episode on it. There's been a lot of scuttlebutt about who's reporting what amid the space agencies and heavenly observers. And I don't know, man. I've got so much more reading ahead on this one.
Heard. Mm-hmm. And that ends this segment. We're going to hear some ads, and we'll be right back with more strange news.
And And we have returned with the last act of our weekly Strange News segment. Let's go back to X, because we've mentioned X, or I think this is the most conservative opinion of all of us here on the show. We have unanimously agreed to just keep calling it Twitter, right?
Mm-hmm. Twitter, FKA Twitter,
there
I believe
we go.
is our official stance.
Yeah, that's how you coined it. Yeah. So if you go to Secretary of War here in the United States, Pete Hegseth, and you check on his official account on Twitter, FKX, on that platform, he recently posted the following, or X'd the following, tweeted the following.
Unclear.
Jack and Miles told me you're supposed to say X'd.
Branding is a little bit murky.
Yeah, agreed. Agree with you, Noel. Anyway, here's what Pete said. Quote, the U.S. military has a long-standing partnership with Qatar, including today's announced cooperation with F-15QA aircraft. The news came through pretty recently. I think we all had eyes on this. There is going to be a Qatari training facility created at an Air Force base here on the contiguous United States in Idaho, the Mountain Home Air Force Base in Idaho. Now, we all kind of heard about this, right?
We did. We talked about it with a fellow we met on the cruise ship, actually. The guy who was in energy, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Don't say his name. Don't say his
No,
name.
I'm not going to say his
Don't say
name.
his name.
But
I called him Mr. Energy.
He was.
I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
a nickname.
he was deep in
He
the
was
energy
cool with
world.
it, yeah.
But I think we all just immediately, a little quid pro quo Clarice bubble went off in all of our heads, given the airplane situation, right?
Yeah, and I think originally when this first hit the airwaves, a lot of people were very reactive and saying and confusing the details a bit and saying, "Oh my gosh, a foreign government is building their own military base in Idaho? Why?" It turns out there is some precedent to this kind of stuff. The United States historically has imported local talent from abroad to train them up. I mean, the U.S. is home to the world's most powerful and dangerous military, also the most sophisticated for now. I mean, the two largest air forces are both the United States. It's the U.S. Air Force and the U.S. Navy.
Yeah, man. And we help train people all the time.
All the
Shout
time.
out.
School of the Americas.
That's
There you
right.
Yeah. And this hasn't always ended well. People are naturally Islamophobia aside, people are naturally asking questions similar to what you raised, Noel, which is a very valid question. Is there a quid pro quo? Uncle Sam is training pilots on the heels of Uncle Sam buying an aircraft from Qatar.
Being gifted, though, right?
Well, we the taxpayers still had to pay for the whole thing to be broken down and scanned for surveillance.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
That's a good.
But you're right.
distinction.
It's a gift. You're right. And that's a good distinction as well. Let's go to AP News. Great article primer here by the journalist Rebecca Boone, reporting from Boise. This is going to be new construction there at Mountain Home Air Force Base over in Idaho. It's going to be several buildings that will handle training and maintenance for these Qatari pilots and troops. But it's apparently, this is weird. We were talking about this off air before we started rolling. We wrote to the governor of Idaho several times. We haven't heard a response yet, Governor Little, and asked, just very, very objective questions for clarification. And we did that because there was a statement by the governor not too long ago where they said, hey, this has been in the works for a while, but me, Governor Little, and one of the senators from Idaho, we didn't know what was happening until we got the official announcement. Till the White House, went to the press club and was like, hey guys, you remember Qatar? And can you imagine the senator and the governor's group chat?
Probably not.
After that,
yeah, probably interesting. It's one of those things where it's almost like I'd rather ask for forgiveness than permission, but I think the government often asks for neither permission nor forgiveness.
Yeah, if you go to the Idaho, that's well said. If you go to Idaho Statesman by Sarah Cutler, you can read an article called Idaho Officials Caught Off Guard by Plan to Train Qatari Air Force at Mountain Home. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay, given the history of the United States training other countries' air forces, specifically at this place, right? It's not that weird. What is weird is what we already mentioned, the gift thing, but also the strike that wasn't Israel that struck Qatar?
Yes,
because they said they were targeting Hamas there in Qatar,
right?
And then the United States administration, said essentially, if you attack Qatar, you attack us. Now made a statement, and then they signed an official.
Like a mini UN kind of situation.
A mutual defense agreement, mutual defense pact, right?
And that's why it feels a little weird to me.
Yeah, and I want to go back to the point raised there, because there is precedent here, not just in the general practice, but also in the specific location, as you said. Since 2009, Mountain Home has hosted some pilots from Singapore, right? It's not unusual to be loved by anyone, but it's
you know what? Damn it, you deserve it.
But it is it is worth remarking that there's some validity to this objectively. We have to look past the rush and the fright of conspiracies by noting, look, these countries are buying American tech, very sophisticated jets that can be absolute beast in the sky, but they're also, surprise, kind of complicated to maintain and a little bit more difficult to fly than a Cessna Skyhawk. So you've got to have the experts teaching you how not to wreck your multi-million-dollar aircraft, right? So that I think makes sense. And if it wasn't for the earlier quid pro quo kind of things going on, then this might not be all that extraordinary. But yet,
indeed.
It's still, I think maybe it feels even weirder just the way the headlines read that were reported on this.
Yeah.
When it first hit one of the subreddits that I frequent, I just went, how in the hell is that a thing that's happening?
Right.
But then you even read Pete Hegseth's further comments like, hey guys, this is a thing that happens all the time. We're doing this thing. We control the base. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And so, but it's news outlets, in my opinion, attempting to get that quick reaction. I think
100 million%. Nobody checked the math on that statement, but this is absolutely true. And it's also showing us a startling division or fracturing within a political party in the U.S. that generally follows in lockstep with itself, right? We're seeing the cracks start to show. Consider another person who has been seen as quite a public voice in the current administration, Laura Loomer, who also around the time this news got announced said on Twitter, x.com, quote, nobody wants the funders of Hamas in America being trained to fly fighter jets on U.S. soil. A jihadist in a suit is still a jihadi. This is a threat to our national security.
How do you feel about Antifa?
I don't know this person.
You don't know this
her up for the first time.
Oh,
she's
don't
got
worry
some
about
hot takes.
Yeah, and they're very much. There's a lot of Islamophobia.
Oh my God,
she's very young. She's 32.
She is, and Trump has called her out by name as one of his biggest boosters. In the media,
and everybody
would not consider her a journalist per se.
Everybody's got their own path. It's not too late to become a right-wing hate monger yourself, man. It's not over yet. Okay. So don't feel intimidated.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be divisive here, but I mean, it's true. Unequivocally, that many of the things that she has to say and that she X's out or tweets or what have you are quite hate-filled.
Just objectively not the best. And I think we should also do an episode on the CIA bungling out there in Venezuela and now Colombia.
I don't think I know about this.
It's been reported in piecemeal, but while we're on conspiracies and a little bit of geopolitics, an old hobby horse for me, you guys. Noel, I don't know if you heard this. the current president of the United States, Donald Trump, went public and put the CIA on blast on October 16th. And he said, yeah, I'm authorizing CIA operations in Venezuela right now. We're also looking into land strikes.
Mm-hmm. This is me doing it.
Right.
My word is my decree.
Which pissed off a lot of people at the shop.
Well, they're channels, man. I mean, and we've said this a million times. It just goes to show how so much of procedure and things that we have seen historically adhered to in American politics is just about people behaving themselves and sticking to decorum, And when you have someone who's willing to kind of, for better or worse, flout all of that.
Yeah, he was trying to do like a gentleman's agreement thing, but then also had a little bit of a fig leaf by saying, I can't give more information on the CIA operations because they're covert, which just doesn't hold water. You know what I mean? I feel like there's something crooked in the wind. It's an episode. Critics of the administration are saying that certain factions or forces really want a war before the next electoral cycle.
And not just with Venezuela, with a lot of Caribbean countries, a lot of South American, Latin American countries.
And anyone will do it. It's an open audition.
Oh, yeah. The day we got off the ship, you guys, there was another strike targeting a boat that is allegedly, as according to the CNN, Colombian, had Colombian nationals on it.
Yeah.
It just seems like it's going to get bigger.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be on the way. So we're going to race to get the facts and look at the conspiracies and find the where it gets crazy moment regarding this. Also, shout out to our fellow conspiracy realists who enjoyed our post-pandemic price hike conspiracy episode, Tyson and Cargill. Got to pay $88 million to consumers in a lawsuit about beef price fixing, which is one of my new favorite crimes.
Absolutely.
It's better than stamp fraud now. I spent some time upstate fixing beef prices.
Yeah, and fights.
And fights. Yeah. Those were your two main things.
Totally.
Boxing and short ribs.
Mm-hmm. Well, and beef. Like you're squashing beef,
and beef,
too.
You're squashing beef.
Literally
there are levels to it. Now, I've kept this last part short because we've got so much more to get to. We're still recovering our sea legs. So with this, we're going to bid you adieu. We're off to Noctivigate and have some more adventures. Please tune in. We've got much more on the way. In the meantime, we can't wait to hear from you. You can find us on email. You can find us on the telephone. You can find us on the lines.
Oh, and Ben, I believe we are owed a list of remaining names of our fellow sailors that we had some meaningful interactions with on the Valiant Lady.
Yeah, we do mean meaningful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Well, let's start with this. For Buried Bones, Paul and Sherry, they were awesome. And Betrayal, Stacy, Michaela, Tommy, and Tyler.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Let's also continue with some folks. We're going to stick to first names and nicknames. So let's round robin some of these. So shout out to Mr. Energy, to Allison and Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I got Victoria, Felipe, Ashley, and Anika.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got David, Andy, and Pamela. Also, happy birthday, Pamela.
I'm not nearly as thoughtful as you. I only had Ashley, but
And shout out to Ashley. Yeah.
Shout out to Mila, who is always right. You guys remember Mila from trivia?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. That's right.
Mila was cool.
Oh, and Diva Anastasia.
Oh my gosh, you found Diva Anastasia?
Yeah.
And Mila, other than that one mic being broken. Thank you. Shout out to James, Chris, Michael, Hope, and Deshaun.
Chris and Melissa. You guys met Chris, the hug dealer, and Melissa, his wifey. Awesome. And Jack and Nicole. Oh my gosh. Dominique and Duran.
As well as Wanda, Kenda, Mitchell, and Kendra.
Heck yeah. Oh, dude. Remember Victor, Jurgen, and Gavin in the Red Room?
How could I forget?
Yes.
How could I forget?
That sounds creepy. That was the venue where we played. Where we did that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like some Twin Peaks kind of
Yeah. We got there, though. We got it in. Also, big thanks to Malachi, Deanna, Destiny, and Neri.
I don't know if I have any more, guys.
Captain Devon, we mentioned earlier, took us out to see the shipwreck.
What a hero. And also the captain, who gave you all a tour of the bridge. I was indisposed at the time, but it sounded like a good time.
Oh, it was. Jim and Diana. They had an anniversary.
Yes. Happy anniversary, Jim and Diana. And thank you, to the captains, Damir and Miran. Thank you to the great folks at Virgin, Jamie especially.
What a good dude.
Dude.
I feel like that's
a true English gentleman.
That's a weird thing that happens to us, though, as Americans, because we hear a person with a British accent, and I don't
want
know,
to be their best friends.
Like you teach me your ways. Also, big thanks to the Carlys.
Oh, huge thanks to the Carlys.
And the third Carly, the first two Carlys were with us.
There is always a secret third Carly.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, words to live by. You got to watch out. They travel in packs.
Well, y'all, in the meantime, if you want to shout out or just want to hang with us on the interwebs, you can indeed find us there in multiple places, including the handle Conspiracy Stuff, where we exist on Facebook with our Facebook group. Here's where it gets crazy. Good conversations going on there. On X, FKA Twitter, and on YouTube, where we have video content galore for you to enjoy. On Instagram and TikTok. However, we're Conspiracy Stuff Show.
We also have a phone number. It is 1-833
STDWYTK.
For some while, we've had all three of us doing that. We hope you say it at home every time you hear it.
When did we get, because I remember pushing that out when we first got our voicemail line. When did we get our voicemail line? It was after we started the audio version of this.
There's no way to know, Ben.
There must be a way.
There's probably a way. It's in the archives somewhere. Like we've got the first one.
Yeah.
And it was probably Brock and S Monster. I guarantee it. Okay. But call the number. It's a voicemail system. When you call in, you've got 3 minutes. Say whatever you'd like. Give yourself a cool nickname and let us know if we can use your name and message on the air. If you got something else to say, maybe with words, why not instead send us an email? We are
the entities that read each piece of correspondence we receive. Be well aware, yet unafraid. Sometimes the void writes back. Now, during our live show, which we'll hear soon, we hope, we had the fortune of holding an awesome Q&A with a lot of our fellow at-sea conspiracy realists. And there was one question we got, which I wanted to take a moment to chew on before answering, which was this. You guys remember it. If you only had 24 hours to live, what movie would you watch?
You've been thinking about this whole time?
Yeah.
That's not fair. We haven't thought about it yet.
Can't wait to hear it.
I want to know, though.
I did the worst thing, though, because you guys remember when you guys had these phenomenal answers, Tree of Life, and then what was the other one?
Life is Beautiful.
Life is Beautiful.
Movies.
Yeah. And so I deferred, and this is a great question. Let me think about it. Spoiler there, man, I am still thinking about it, but I do have to give a shout out to someone on the boat who had a very special request. Their movie that they would watch with only 24 hours is Somewhere in Time, a 1980 romantic fantasy drama film starring Christopher Reeve, Jane Seymour, and Christopher Plummer. Boom! You thought we forgot, Melissa?
Yeah.
You thought we weren't going to say Somewhere in Time?
We all wrote that down, baby. Mackinac Island. Let's go.
Mackinac Island. No cars allowed. Conspiracy at iHeartRadio.com.
Stuff They Don't Want You to Know is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.